Understand English but can't speak?
Speak simple.
Speak confident.
English Boost.
Boost your English.
Did you know that over 70% of people say a friendly chat with a neighbor makes them feel safer in their community? I remember the first time I knocked on a neighbor's door just to say hello. I was nervous, but the conversation sparked a lasting friendship. Today, we'll explore why those tiny moments matter, especially for English learners.
Welcome back to English Boost. I'm Sarah, and I'll be breaking down the science behind small talk while giving you practical phrases you can use tomorrow. We'll keep it friendly, data-backed, and full of real-world examples.
In this episode, we'll cover 5 key areas: icebreakers, using your surroundings, listening actively, handling pauses, and a quick role play to cement everything. By the end, you'll have a toolbox of go-to lines for any neighbor encounter.
We'll also sprinkle in a few surprising statistics, like how a simple greeting can increase neighborhood trust by 23%, and give you a checklist to practice after the video. So grab a coffee, and let's dive in.
But first, let me ask you a question. Have you ever stood at the mailbox, locked eyes with a neighbor, and felt completely at a loss for words? If you have, you're not alone, and we've got the perfect remedy.
Exactly, Alex. Let's start with the most universal icebreaker and see why it works so well. Ready?
What most people don't realize is that the weather isn't just small talk, it's a social signal. Saying, "Nice weather we're having today, huh?" instantly creates a shared experience without any risk. It's simple, safe, and works in almost every climate.
That's a great point, Alex. Research shows that weather talk activates the brain's social bonding circuits, making listeners more receptive. Plus, you can easily pivot from there. Ask about the weekend forecast or a recent storm they might have experienced.
Here's where it gets fascinating. A friendly greeting like, "Hey, how's your day going?" adds a personal touch. It signals that you care about their well-being, not just the weather. And if they reply with busy, you have a perfect opening for a follow-up.
Exactly. And the follow-up question is the secret sauce. You could say, "What's keeping you busy today?" This shows active listening and invites them to share something meaningful without feeling interrogated.
But here's a twist. You don't always need to ask a question. A simple compliment, like "I love the flowers you planted outside," can spark a conversation about gardening, hobbies, or even upcoming community events.
And that's just the beginning. Using visual cues in your environment creates natural topics. Let's move to the next subtopic: leveraging what you see around you.
Picture this. You see your neighbor walking their dog. You could say, "Your dog looks so happy today," or ask, "What's his name?" People love talking about their pets, and it instantly puts them at ease.
That's a great example, Alex. Studies on animal-owner interactions reveal that pet talk increases oxytocin levels for both parties, fostering trust. You could also comment on the dog's breed or energy level. "He's so energetic, how do you keep up?"
What most people don't realize is that everyday objects can become conversation starters too. If you notice a new coffee shop, try, "Hey, have you tried the new cafe on Maple Street?" It shows you're engaged with the neighborhood.
Exactly, Alex. And you can tie that into a question about their preferences. What's your go-to coffee order there? This opens the door to shared interests and future meetups.
Here's where it gets fascinating, using local news. You might say, "I heard they're building a new park nearby. Have you heard any details?" It demonstrates awareness and invites them to share insider knowledge.
And that's a perfect segue into active listening. When a neighbor mentions a project, you can respond with a reflective comment. "That sounds exciting. How involved are you in the planning?" This validates their experience.
But here's what's truly remarkable: the power of follow-up questions. If they say, "I'm busy with a home renovation," you could ask, "What part are you working on right now?" It keeps the dialogue flowing and shows genuine interest.
Exactly, Alex. Listening is more than hearing. It's about echoing back key details. Paraphrasing, like, "So you're repainting the living room? What color did you choose?" reinforces that you're engaged.
And that brings us to handling those inevitable pauses. Silence can feel awkward, but it's actually a natural part of conversation. A simple bridge like, "Well, I'll let you get back to your garden, but it was great chatting," smooths things over.
That's a great tip, Alex. Research on conversational dynamics shows that brief pauses signal processing time and are perceived as thoughtful, not empty. The key is to acknowledge the pause with a polite exit or a light comment.
What most people don't realize is that positivity fuels repeat interactions. If a neighbor mentions a stressful day, you could say, I totally get that. I had a long day too. Anything I can help with? It turns a complaint into a collaborative moment.
Exactly, Alex. However, it's wise to avoid dwelling on negative topics for too long. Steering the conversation toward a neutral or uplifting subject, like a community event, keeps the vibe friendly.
Here's where it gets fascinating. A quick role play can lock these strategies in place. Imagine you're at the mailbox and see your neighbor Maya. What would you say?
Let's try it together, Alex. I'd start with a smile and say, "Hey Maya, nice to see you. How's your morning going?" That combines a greeting, a smile, and an open-ended question.
Great, Sarah. If Maya replies, I'm just picking up some groceries, a bit rushed, I could follow up with, anything interesting on your list today? This shows interest without prying.
Exactly, Alex. And if she mentions a new recipe, you could respond, "That sounds delicious. I'd love to try it sometime." You've now created a bridge for future conversation.
What most people don't realize is that you can also use a shared observation. I might add, I noticed the new bike lane on Elm Street. Have you tried it yet? It's a neutral topic that invites a response.
And that's just the beginning. Practicing these snippets daily will make them feel natural. Think of each interaction as a mini experiment. Try one line, observe the reaction, adjust as needed.
Exactly, Sarah. To recap, the 4 pillars are: start with a friendly opener, use your surroundings, listen actively, and manage pauses with positivity. Mastering these will turn awkward moments into smooth exchanges.
And remember, the goal isn't to have a perfect script, but to be genuine. A simple smile, a sincere question, and a listening ear are all you need. Practice these in your daily walks, and you'll see improvement quickly.
Before we finish, I want to leave you with a challenge. Over the next week, start 3 conversations with different neighbors using the techniques we discussed. Note how they respond and what felt natural.
That's a great call to action, Alex. And if you hit a snag, replay this episode or drop a comment. We'll help you fine-tune your approach.
So to sum up, small talk with neighbors is a powerful tool for building community and practicing English. Keep it light, stay curious, and don't fear the occasional silence.
Exactly. Remember the checklist: smile, simple opener, listen, follow up, and positive exit. Use it as your cheat sheet for any doorstep encounter.
If you found these tips helpful, give us a thumbs up, share the video with a neighbor, and subscribe for more English Boost lessons.
And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you never miss a new episode. We'll see you next time with another real-world English scenario.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and happy chatting.